Hello and welcome to Must Play and our final episode of 2025. With me as always is TJ, and we are proud to present to you guys for the very first time the 2025 Must Play Awards. Now, if this is your first episode you've ever listened to, you may be wondering what we're talking about, why we're dressed up. In each of our Must Play episodes we've done up to this point, we score the golf course we're reviewing on a 10-question rubric. Courses must score a 6 out of 10 to be up for debate or get a 7 out of 10 or higher to earn our Must Play status. And while some courses do well on the overall test, some fail, even though they may have excelled at one question in particular. So, TJ and I decided we should do a year-end roundup of the courses we've reviewed so far and award what we're calling the Musty to one course per question. And as such, we are dressed for the occasion. TJ, would you like to add anything? By the way, you're looking sharp.
You as well, Sean. I'm a little upset that you're not wearing a tie, but that'll be for next year. You've learned your lesson. You will be shunned by the people in the comments.
I'm usually wearing Devereaux, but we're dressing up for this one. So, by the way, use Fair Wagers 20 for 20% off.
Always, all the time. But yeah, back to the Musties. So I think our intention was that we had this idea at the tail end of last year, and it was just a little late to get it out. Plus, we hadn't had really enough courses under our belt to do this. So this year, with it being the inaugural 2025 Musties, this is also going to retroactively go back and look at all of the courses that we covered in 2024 on Must Play, as well as this year's 2025 courses. And then moving into next year, what will happen is that the incumbent winner from this year, incumbent means the person who won this year, will be automatically nominated for next year's 2026 Musty. And then any of the courses that we reviewed on Must Play over the course of 2026 will then be added to the nominees list to go against the incumbent champion.
High stakes.
High stakes. This is a very prestigious award. This is not a Dundee or any of the sort. This is going to be highly sought after. I'm very much expecting a course who has won one of these, much like someone who has won the coveted Must Play status, to actually want this award in their pro shop. I dare you to challenge us to have to make a physical one. I have some feelings on some people who will definitely challenge us on that. So I'm looking forward to hearing those responses and being challenged with having to actually design a trophy for someone.
Design being the key phrase there. I don't even know what it looks like, but I mean, it's going to look great, whatever it is.
We will not just straight up chat GPT something and print it out and send it to somebody. That is not what we do.
We will not. For this test, or not even test, for these awards, should I say, this was a difficult time for me to put together what we're doing for each question, which is 4 nominees, and then one of the nominees wins. TJ and I obviously had to come to agreement on the nominees and then agree on who the winner was. And we have our own styles and our own picks, and we vote as such when we do those individual episodes. There's times where we disagree and the guest is the tiebreaker sometimes. But that said, I feel like when we reviewed the nominees, it was kind of clear to us which ones came to the top for each question. Would you agree?
There was a few that I think we spent some time debating on and making sure that we were coming to the right decision. I think we also wanted to make this podcast not 4 hours long. So we spared everybody that entire conversation that Sean and I had with nominees and deciding on who the penultimate winner was. But much like we often always have, that's why we have the guests on the pod, right? We like to have the guest on. It helps break the tie. There's no arguments. It's usually 2 against 1 or all for 1 and whatnot. But really, we had to sit in here and say, okay, like, we got to agree on these. And it took some swaying and it took some rebuttals, but we got there. We're here, and we like this list. There's no asterisks on this list today.
No, none. Should we get into it then?
Yeah. Then Sean, why don't you start us off?
Okay. Well, before we do, we're going to hear once from our sponsor for today's episode, Devereaux Golf.
Yeah, so I just wanted to take a quick second to thank our new sponsor of the podcast, Devereaux Golf. They're an Arizona-based, family-owned golf apparel and accessories company that Sean and I have been huge fans of from afar, but now we're excited to be officially partnered with. They're going to be sponsoring us. We're going to be wearing them on the podcast. They're going to be giving all of you guys a 20% off discount code for the foreseeable future. So you're going to head over to devereauxgolf.com. I'm going to spell it out for you. It's a little tough. It's DEVEREUX golf.com and use code FAIRWAGERS20 to get 20% off your order today.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. For each question, we'll be nominating 4 golf courses and selecting one of the 4 as the winner. As TJ mentioned earlier, The course that wins the Musty holds that title for 1 year until they'll be nominated automatically for next year for the same question. We're going to alternate turns here and explain a little bit behind our decision for each, as well as remind you guys what goes into this question. So without further ado, let's begin the 2025 Must Play Awards. So the first one here is the Augusta Test. This question says, is this course easy to get a tee time on? Does it have a straightforward booking process? And are there times available the week of your intended play? So our nominees are, the very first one here is Wildwood Golf Course up in Portland, Oregon. The next nominee is Dobson Ranch in Mesa, Arizona. Our next nominee is Southern Dunes in Maricopa, Arizona. And our last one is Greyhawk in Scottsdale, Arizona. 3 Arizona nominees in there. No bias, I promise. All right. That's true. No bias. That's just literally how.
I mean, geographically, we only cover so many courses. Like, if you look at the split, I still think our majority is in Arizona.
Yeah.
But, I mean, no Southern California courses nominated in the Augusta Test. That tells you the state of golf in San Diego.
I think so. I mean, there's just so many options out here, too. But let's get into it.
Well, it's because you can't get on anywhere in Southern California.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the first Musty, the winner of the Augusta Test, goes to, drumroll.
We're going to do a drum roll for every single one.
No. The Musty here goes to Southern Dunes.
Woo!
Congratulations, Southern Dunes. Real quick, just an explanation here. It is a top-notch golf course. Makes usually the top 5, top 10 lists when you're coming out to the Valley. It is worth the trip. The problem is a lot of people don't want to make the drive. They see it on a map and they're like, well, we can play all this other golf. And I think that's probably what drives the availability of tee times. On top of that, they're actually a great value. I think the prices are very, very reasonable. The same week, you can usually find tee times. I was checking them again during the holidays and I could. So yeah, I think they're straightforward. I enjoy going to play there, and maybe this podcast is blowing up a little too much because I enjoy the fact that I can find tee time still the same week of my play.
Yeah. Southern Dunes is great. If you are on a trip and you are the type of group that always rents a car when you go on your golf trip and you are not relying upon Uber XLs to get you to your spots and you're trying to stay in cheaper Uber XLs. If you have a rental car, you probably owe it to yourself to make the trip out to Southern Dunes if you plan a Phoenix golf trip.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. All right. I'm going to jump into this next one here. This is the bang for your buck test. Is this golf course worth the rate you pay? Do you feel like this course is a good value during peak season? And the nominees are, first, Goat Hill Park in Oceanside, California. Second, I guess I won't say second because that's going to think that people are ranking them. The next nominee, Coronado in San Diego, California. Third, I did it again. Next, Southern Dunes. And last, Elk Ridge in Carson, Washington. So we hit all 3 of our main geographic areas here for this. And a repeat nomination from Southern Dunes. Famously, courses usually don't get a pass on the bang for your buck and the Augusta Test here. So a good double nominee here from Southern Dunes. But the winner of the 2025 Musty for bang for your buck test is Coronado. There is a caveat here. This golf course is such a good value. You play on Coronado Island in San Diego. You can see the bay from almost every hole on it. There's one problem with this course, and it's the actual availability of tee times. This is the to the tee. Like, it exceeds on bang for your buck, and it absolutely is a 0 on Augusta Test. Like, it is so insanely hard. We talk about it. We've asked people in forums, and it's like the one guaranteed way to get a tee time on this golf course is to go out there at 4 a.m. and talk to the starter. I don't.
But how much are typical prices for this course? Like, what makes it?
God, I think this course is always below $100.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen it in
a
the
lot
60s
of
and 70s and stuff like that.
I was going to say, I think a lot of times I see like a $65, $75 tee time out here. And is it the best golf course in the world? No. It's kind of flat. It's pretty beginner friendly. But God, you really can't beat the views out here. For especially at that value. Anywhere else that's going to give you views like this, it's going to be above $200.
I was going to say, for its location and for just a great day of golf, plus not to mention what you can do afterwards at that patio and hang out, it is such a cool spot. And for that price, it's no wonder that it's so hard to get tee time on.
Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah. All right, congratulations, Coronado, on your musty. All right, question 3 here. The Iverson Test. Does this course have good practice facilities? Would you spend time warming up or just head for the bar before the round? All right, our first nominee is Papago in Phoenix, Arizona. Our next nominee is Southern Dunes. Wow, 3 nominations here in a row.
3 for 3 on Southern Dunes.
Our next nominee is Greyhawk in Scottsdale. And our last nominee is Rams Hill in Borrego Springs, California. And the winner of the Iverson Test here is Rams Hill. Congratulations, Rams Hill. Let me just say real quick, the practice facilities here are mint, and I would know because I was there 3 hours early. I had nowhere to be in Borrego Springs. Spent the night before. Couldn't wait to get to the course. They just say, yep, go ahead, grab a cart, go out that way. It's literally you and the mountains in the desert, and it is just the most peaceful zen you've ever had at a range. Mint grass, perfect grass range with the balls there laid out for you. You want to go flip around to the other side of the range, coming back, which usually is like, lessons or someone hitting back at you, empty. And then when I went over there, bunkers, chipping facility, perfect grass again. Go back over to the front tee or to the first tee right by the clubhouse. Huge putting green with undulation, everything else. I couldn't think of a better place to go spend my 3 hours before tee time than Rams Hill. Had an amazing breakfast as well, but shout out to them. That was such a cool experience.
Yeah, it checks all of the boxes that we talk about when we rate courses on Must Play on what it needs to be for a good practice facility, right? It's the grass, not mats, a short game facility with a bunker, and a large practice green.
Yep.
What we didn't talk about there, practice green located right next to the 1T. So you can always roll a few, and you won't be worried that you're far off hitting putts and your tee and the rest of your group is waiting for you on the first tee, and you've just kind of lost track of your time listening to Journey in your AirPods. And then also they've got the shag bags out there and the free balls for the short game area. So it's not the I hit my 5 balls or whatever, and then I have to go walk up there and get them. It's also helps, like the shag bags also just help keep like the short game areas much cleaner and free of everyone leaving their balls.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you put one of those out there, like most golfers are pretty good about the etiquette of like, I'll go pick up my balls after and then set this back down, as opposed to like, sometimes you see ranges and like everybody leaves all the balls all over the short game area, and you've got to go clean it before you before you hit chips and pitches. So
I'll also say,
a nice little touch.
There was a guy, the range picker, doing the range and picking up the balls out in the distance. I was the only guy on the range. It's really wild to see a guy only picking up my balls. Like, I was like, that's weird. I've never thought about that. And then there's like a little stream running behind you, and it was quiet as can be. And I heard the water. It was really nice.
And the other one that we haven't touched on yet, range balls are included with your tee time.
Included, correct.
Free range balls, which is the other one that I guess also helps fully pass the test.
So clear winner here, Rams Hill. Congrats on your first musty.
Very much so. All right, diving into test number 4, the Jonesy Test. Could you see yourself spending $100 on merch in their pro shop? Do they have a logo or apparel worth wearing? The nominees for the Jonesy Test are Wildwood in Portland, Oregon, Papago Golf Club in Phoenix, Arizona, Goat Hill Park in Oceanside, California, and Torrey Pines in San Diego, California. And the winner of the 2025 Musty for the Jonesy Test is Wildwood. Now, Wildwood came on. Wildwood was what, like our 3rd Must Play episode, very early on.
Yeah.
And we ranted and raved about the logo and the merch here, and it has with what do you got? Yeah, you've got
Excuse
the towel.
the dirty towel, please.
But yeah, I mean, the logo is just top notch. There's a full history behind Huber and his name. Yeah. And I will say, shout out to Ryan over there, who does a great job in not just making your standard golf course merch with a good logo on it. I think right now, if you go on their website and you look, I think right now you can buy a Wildwood hockey jersey, like hockey sweater.
Yeah.
I think you can buy a Wildwood baseball jersey. I know he's partnered up with one of our brands that we've worked with in the past, Clinch, and he has Wildwood branded Clinch gloves right now.
Mm.
He's made one of the coolest head covers that I've ever seen. That's like the fuzzy Yeti looking one that just has the orange eyes on it.
The Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch, yeah. I mean, he's he's always doing new stuff and trying new stuff out and trying new brands and partners. The website is constantly being, I won't say constantly being updated with new merch, but like if you look at it in January and then you look at it in July, you're most likely going to see a whole brand new swath of merch that was on there. So he does a lot, and he's also starting to bring back use of their old like retro logo. And the retro logo is not a Yeti, but it's like it's very sweet. It reminds me of PGA West a little bit. In its geometric kind of design. It's also a really good looking logo. So
yeah.
Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Wildwood. If you haven't looked at their stuff yet, they are available to be purchased online. So go check them out.
Yep. I mean, I had nothing else to add other than just the story behind the logo and Huber and how cool that was. It makes me proud to wear something like that. And then how many courses can you say that you can't wait to go back, not just to play it, but to go look around the pro shop and go home with something else?
That's the other thing, is that I don't think he puts everything on the website. I think there is some stuff that you can only get in the pro shop at Wildwood. Or he's got random one-offs that is a sample, and he's like, oh, I'm not going to make it, but I'll sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very cool.
All right. Congrats, Wildwood.
Woo.
Okay. Question 5 here. The Buzzworthy Test. Are there multiple holes worth talking about? Does this course have more than one hole that a group would immediately want to go play again? And the nominees are Torrey Pines, South Course, Chambers Bay, the Crossings at Carlsbad, and Corey Pines. So Torrey and Corey Pines both nominated in this question. Corey Pines is in Marana, Arizona.
Correct.
Yeah. And the winner of this one for us, this is a tough one, but we decided was Chambers Bay. Chambers Bay, for those who haven't been, go to YouTube and go drool over some of the holes and the views that you get right on the sound there. It is one of the coolest experiences you'll have in the P&W, something that's unlike many other courses. And from virtually every hole, you are on a slope that you can look up against holes in the background going up. And if you turn around, you can look down coming out to the bay. It is breathtaking, and the holes are as well. Hole 9 comes out to mind. That was one of the big downhill par 3s, and 8 right before that is like a precarious hole at the very top of the. Actually, it's a Corey as well, which is weird. The Corey. That just goes along the edge, and then you get down to the holes where 15 is the one with the lone pine tree that's standing out there that makes the logo, and 16 goes along the railroad tracks. How many other courses have you played where a train just goes right along the hole? I mean, there is just so much to remember here. And I'll also say this too, is like standing at the top before you go down to the course, one of the most beautiful views you'll ever have at a pro shop, just looking out. That is just, I mean, breathtaking. And it reminds me of how many times I want to go back there and go play a different way of golf on that same hole. How many ways could you play a hole, for example?
The undulation on some of those holes. I think I famously have a photo where Jones and I are both standing in the middle of a fairway on a hole, and he's 30 feet below where I am.
Yeah,
and he's in a carved out patch of fairway, and he's got to look at the green. But I'm up on the other side, and I'm standing. I think he's well below, and he's on a flat patch. And then
Yeah.
I'm up on the very left side of the fairway, and I'm on a steep angle. And it's like, this is the same golf hole. Like, we're in the same fairway on the same hole here.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, the pro shop being at the top is a very cool. I know that that's not included in the question, but you can see most of the golf course from up there, and it's really cool. It's one of the few unique experiences where you can stand on a golf course and you can almost see
the entire
every flag stick from multiple positions on the golf course.
Yeah. And part of that question is like, you're hanging out afterwards and you're talking about wanting to go play again. You can look at the holes and go like, yeah, here's how I played that hole. You're staring at it. You're actually in your mind thinking about what you did. And yeah, there's just so many that I want back. And I only got to play there once and I can't wait to go back.
Oh, and we got beat up that day. I remember we posted we did the whole, like, what are you going to shoot today? Like, here's my handicap. Here's what I'm going to shoot today video. Yes. And we all shot well over our handicaps and well over what we thought we were going to shoot that day. And pretty much the comments on that post on all platforms is pretty much like, okay, so these guys are sandbagging rats. Like, these guys are all lying about their handicaps. They have no idea. They've never played a difficult golf course in their life. No, Chambers is just that hard. And
it is that hard. Yeah.
You don't realize it until you're out there and it kicks you in the teeth. And like you said, there's so many that you'd like to get back because you think a spot is totally safe. And it's just, you're like, oh, this is a terrible position to be in.
On a future episode, I would love to do a composite course with you where we pick an actual hole from every course we've reviewed and make an ultimate course. And I do think Chambers would have more than one hole easily on that full 18.
Most definitely. Most definitely. There's a lot of great holes out on this golf course, as anyone who has ever played it can attest, or go watch the 2015 US Open and watch Jordan Spieth just lose his mind. If you want to test actually how difficult the golf course is, watch a professional golfer just absolutely blow an insane lead. All right.
Congrats, Chambers.
Congrats, Chambers Bay. All right, jumping into the Glizzy Test. Does this course have good food at the turn? Are you eating here or packing your own snacks? In my case, your own Uncrustables. The nominees for this award are Greyhawk Golf Course, Goat Hill Park, Rams Hill, and Dobson Ranch in Mesa, Arizona. I think this is the first time Dobson's got a nod on here. Or did we talk about... No, Dobson was on the Augusta Test.
The first one,
there. Apologies. But the winner of the 2025 Musty for the Glizzy Test is Goat Hill Park, Oceanside, California. I will say a lot of these courses have phenomenal spreads. Greyhawk comes to mind, where it comes to the full menu at the turn at Greyhawk is really good. Rams Hill is definitely a close second here. Free tacos that you can pick up twice. There is no limit on how many free tacos you can have. They literally go, how many tacos do you want? And it is not like, okay, you hit your 5 or like whatever. Like, no, you can loop and hit it, I think, after 9. And then I think you can hit it again on like 14, between 14 and 15.
Yep.
So just great, a very close second here. But ultimately at the root cause or at the core of this award, it is the Glizzy Test. And in my mind, in our mind, Goat Hill Park has the best golf course hot dog we've ever had up to this point, of courses that we've rated. They do hot, they do brats, they do onions. They have like 10 different types of mustard. They have every fixin' that you could want on a hot dog, outside of maybe like if you wanted to do a Sonoran dog and do it like bacon wrapped. Everything else they have, and they're out there just ripping them when you order them on a flat top grill. So no roller dogs, no prepackaged dogs. Like when you order it, that's when they start making it. And it's just,
I went there. I went there when I wasn't having beef for a period of time, and I was like, they unfortunately didn't have like the right one because it was all beef brat or all beef hot. And they go, I have veggie dogs, and he made me a veggie dog. I would never order a veggie dog anywhere. Let's just be clear, okay? That's like not my thing, but I had it. It was delicious. If you can nail a veggie dog, shout out to you. I can't do
Yeah.
that. But other times I've been there, I have had the brat, I've had the hot dog, and like you said, with every fixing you want, excuse me, incredible. Like the jalapeno, the sauerkraut, onion, it's all there. Bags of chips laid out for you, every single thing that you want, and it's all under an easy up tent. It's incredible.
I will say, if I were to knock it at all, I think he closes up a touch early. Like, I think he's usually out of there by like 3 or 4 o'clock, which really sucks if you're trying to have one after a round, and maybe just like where you're like, man, I want to hang. If you want a second one, or if you're like, man, I really want to hang out on the patio after and have some beers with the boys, and maybe just supplement my dinner with the dog from Goat Hill, and you finish your round and he's nowhere to be seen. You're like, damn, now I got to go eat a real dinner. Now I gotta tell the wife I will be home for dinner, and because I'm gonna need dinner tonight, or else I'm gonna stop and hit McDonald's on the way home.
Yeah. Well, Goat Hill, I'm glad this is your first musty, I believe. Congratulations, well deserved.
Huge shout out to Goat.
Yep. All right, question 7, the Marshal Test. This is probably the toughest question here. Does this course have a decent pace of play? Can you rely on a relatively quick round here if you have somewhere to be after? Most of the courses we review on these episodes are sought-after courses, and so it is tough to find yourself with a decent pace of play. And the second part of the question is, can you rely on a quick round if you have somewhere to be after? And so that eliminates sometimes courses that are maybe far away from the main city that you're going to be staying in. But our nominees here are Greyhawk, Rams Hill, Phoenician, and Goat Hill. And real quick, before I announce the winner, let me explain Rams Hill for those who know what you're probably spending the night in Borrego, or you have nowhere to be after. Okay, so that's why it makes this list and bucks the trend of where it is.
Yeah, if you made plans to do something after a round at Rams Hill, shame on you. You're gonna be
late.
Unless I can't imagine not actually playing like Rams either really early in the morning or staying the night. Like
But anyway, so Greyhawk, Rams Hill, Phoenician, and Goat Hill are the nominees. And the winner of the Marshal Test and the 2025 Musty for this question is Greyhawk Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona. Congratulations, Greyhawk. You've been nominated a few times here. Just real quick on Greyhawk. If you are coming to the Valley anytime, even in prime season, there are a number of courses in Scottsdale, in Fountain Hills, in Phoenix, wherever you're going to be, Chandler, Gilbert, that are on the outskirts of town, far out. In the inner part of the city, you have plenty of munis, plenty of other courses. You got your Dobson Ranches, Encantos, whatever, and they're great. But if you really want like desert golf, you're probably going to go to one of those outskirts. Greyhawk offers that for you right off the 101. It is easy to get to and is right next to TPC. So if you're planning on doing some course the same week as the Phoenix Open, the Waste Management, this is like right there, and it's priced accordingly. On top of that, it is fast pace of play here. They have 2 courses. We reviewed the Raptor course when we did this one. It is generally well paced out. You have people who are playing appropriately. You have marshals checking things. They have a turn stand that's easy to get to. You don't have to go into the clubhouse, so there's no build up between 9 and 10. There's 2 ranges. It has got everything you need for a course to operate smoothly, and it does. And so I think this is why it wins the Musty here.
Yeah, I also think do they still have 10-minute tee times out there?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I feel like that's also just an immediate like, oh, it's not going to be that bad outside of a potential individual foursome messing it up, or a few of them, right?
Yes.
So yeah, having that 10-minute tee time barrier is always going to be much appreciated and always going to help. I also think that this is a desert golf course, and there are some times where you can spend a lot of time potentially looking for your balls here, but this one feels maybe a touch more open when it comes to that desert. So the balls might be a little bit more easily findable, or it's just dead. Because sometimes exactly, and you just give up on it. You're like, that ball is just gone.
Yeah.
So for this one, you do get that proper spacing out, and you do get to be like, oh, I can find it over here, or If I don't see it in this immediate area because this area is pretty open, then it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'll stop saying gone, and dead.
Well, that's it for Marshal Test. Congrats, Greyhawk.
Congrats to Greyhawk. All right, we're going to jump into the high handicapper test. Would a mid to high handicapper enjoy this course in typical conditions? Is the course fair to all handicaps? Are the greens or pin positions fair? And the nominees are Torrey Pines South Course, Dobson Ranch, Coronado, and Encinitas Ranch in Encinitas, California. And the award for the high handicapper test goes to Encinitas Ranch in Encinitas, California. If you didn't see this one coming, if you're not familiar with Encinitas Ranch, its nickname is Easy Ranch. It is dubbed as one of the easiest courses in San Diego, or in the San Diego area. I personally, not my current PB, but my PB before last was done, I think, at this course twice in a row. I've gone decently low at this golf course. It's none of the green complexes are too wildly difficult. The bunkering's not that bad. I'll say a lot of the holes favor a slicer. They do run perpendicular to each other in the right direction for you. So if you have a right miss, you're going to still find your ball in another fairway.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like we've talked about, there's not a lot on this golf course where we've talked about like more difficult golf courses where you and I are seeing two different types of golf courses here, and we're seeing two different shots as we play this. This golf course is pretty right in front of you. You're kind of staring down the teeth of the golf course the whole time. And you're just looking at it, and it's pretty straightforward on what you need to do. There's a few holes where maybe having some insider knowledge can help you and help a high handicapper. I particularly think, I think it's like 7, where you kind of have to hit it up to the top of the hill. And you don't actually know what's on the other side of the hill if you've never played here before. So you're hoping that you've played with somebody, because you're like, everyone's like, oh, I'll just hit driver. And I'm like, no, if you hit driver, there's a valley between this whole fairway and the green. Like, you need to just lay up to like the top of the hill, and that's it. But not everybody knows that. That's really one of the only ones that's kind of like that.
Yeah. I will say too, like you mentioned the bunkering and whatnot, like this course has wide fairways as well, I feel like, than slightly wider. I don't know if it's like 10% wider or what. It just feels more comfortable. Like I don't feel as uncomfortable over the shots. And as a lefty who doesn't get to enjoy the right miss, because I got the left miss, I still found this my first time here relatively easy, because I was like, okay, yeah, I know what this hole is asking. I know what I need to do, and I'm going to go do it. The exception to that would be the one you mentioned, 7. And then I think it's like 5 or one of the ones before it that has a massive dip in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That one's like, I don't know how I'm going to avoid this dip. I'm going to be in this dip no matter what. Felt like.
No, you either, that one's a weird hole. Cause like in your brain, you just say like, I'll just smash it and play it off that hill. But if you haven't actually played that golf course, you don't realize how steep of an incline that hill is actually at until you get over there. Yeah. And then you're like, cool, I'm just going to dig a wedge into this turf and hope it pops up onto the green.
Yeah.
Because there's what feels like maybe 15 yards of flat at the bottom of that hole. And then the rest of it is just all either a slow slope downwards or a steep slope upwards towards the green.
Yeah. But other than those two holes, I feel like this course was relatively gettable. Very gettable.
Shout out Encinitas Ranch. Congrats. Thanks for helping all of us hit more personal bests this year.
All right. This is my last one I'm going to cover, and TJ's got the last musty here. So I'm going with the vibes test. Is this course worth staying at post-round? Do they have a good restaurant or patio scene? So our nominees are Greyhawk, Papago, Goat Hill, and Torrey Pines. And the winner is, and those are all strong contenders, by the way. Let me just say,
very strong.
Our winner here is Torrey Pines. Okay, that was a tough one. Let me explain real quick. First off, for the nominees, Greyhawk has Isabella's on the south side, has Phil's Grill on the north side. Both excellent choices. Popgo has Lose. We just reviewed Popgo on our most recent episode. If you want to go check it out, you can now head to our website, mustplaypod.com, and go look at the most recent episode.
Hey.
Hey, we'll talk about that later. Goat Hill, no restaurant. However, talk about the perfect place to go have beers and hang out at a bench post round. But Torrey Pines, in our book, has one of the best places to go get a burger or a dinner afterwards or a lunch, and that is the Lodge at Torrey Pines right next door. What makes this such a good post-round scene? You are in a place that is like the home of golf for right there for like a lot of people who are visiting. You have a craftsman style hotel with a bar and a full restaurant and a patio attached to that restaurant with perfect weather usually. You have putting greens right behind there. You can go take your drink out to somewhere to go play after, like put a drink on the half wall and go play on the putting green or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a fireplace, usually where on the flip side of the fireplace, they're roasting some sort of meat and it smells delicious. And you can go have a beer in a rocking chair right in front of there. I have said on a separate pod, I want to be buried here at the Lodge, and it's still true. This is my ultimate vibes that I love and I think about before I book a tea time at Torrey.
Yeah, I think this one and the next test, I think were our most highly debated amongst the two of us. And I have a feeling this will be one of the ones that's maybe the most highly debated upon in the comments associated with this, where people are going to be like, how'd you guys not do Lose, or how'd you guys not do Goat? And also I think on top of that, we've probably spoken in superlatives about these golf courses when covering them, and
I have
pretended like when we're reviewing these golf courses that they're in a vacuum, and said, oh, Goat Hill's got the best vibes. I believe I'm going to call you out here. When we did Goat, you said, when you look up vibes in the dictionary, it's a picture of Goat.
I think I did say that.
But then you've also said, bury me at the Lodge at Torrey Pines. So
yeah,
this was a tough one, and even just getting to the 4 nominees was tough here. There was some debate on just getting to the 4, not even deciding on what the winner was. Yeah. So if you've passed the vibes test before, shout out to you on this one. But yeah, the Lodge at Torrey Pines is just immaculate. They set you right up too. They let you go over there, have a few more beers. I think they're in cahoots with the pro shop too, because then you're if it depending upon when your round is, you're sneaking back over into the pro shop. Yeah. You're buying the hat that you've been thinking about. Maybe you also decided to grab a sweater because you had a few more beers with the boys, or you didn't realize how much you won in skins after you're settling the bets up at the at the
we
table.
have videos of us gambling on the putting greens out here too.
Exactly.
And also, this is the only course I've been to out of this whole list where Ashley came and met us afterwards. It's a place where your wife or your girl or your spouse or someone's going to be like, yeah, I'd love to meet you there after your round, because it's such a good spot to go.
I mean, asterisk here, Mike just said that his wife wants to meet him at Lose at Papago after the round all the time. But
that's true.
For my wife, who is famously not wanting to go hang out at a golf course, who has only done it one time ever, and it was Torrey Pines. So if she were to break the tie here between the two, she's going to vote for Torrey for us.
Yeah. Also, all right, hand up. I think I probably had the superlative about Goat because AZ was on the pod, and I just wanted to, make him happy. He's such a nice guy.
You don't want to get the mayor on your bad side.
No, shout out.
All right, I'm going to get into our last test here. This is the dime a dozen test. Is this course unique to the area, or could you get this golf experience somewhere else on your trip/visit? The nominees are Chambers Bay, Rams Hill, Grass Clippings at Rolling Hills in Tempe, Arizona, and Torrey Pines. And the winner of the 2025 Mustie for the dime a dozen test goes to Grass Clippings. I'll say this was, like I said, this was the other one that we had a very tough time on just getting to the 4. We, as data guys, meticulously track how every course does and which tests are getting the most passes and the most fails. And I'll say, if you've been keeping along at home, this is the test that gets the most passes amongst all of the golf courses. I'll say a lot of times we do want to do really fun golf courses, and we want to rate golf courses that people are inherently going to like. So this test tends to get passed a lot because we are searching out very unique golf courses or wanting to feature unique golf courses to the area. So there's a lot of courses that have passed this test that were eligible to be nominated here. And this one was tough because all of these courses brought very, very unique feelings, layouts, design choices to their area. But grass clippings being outside of the 6-hole pitch and putt that's at Southern Dunes at night, it's the only lit golf course in Phoenix in a place where all you want to do is play more golf when you're visiting. So it affords you the ability to turn what could normally be a 36-hole day into a 54-hole day, or what is normally a travel day for all the boys getting into town, into a day where you can actually check 18 off your list and play one of your courses that's on your list. It's just, they're doing everything right out there. It's almost crazy that this was actually the only time that we had mentioned grass clippings out of the 10 other questions or 9 other questions. But it's just, it's so unique. The views of the skyline, I'll harken back to Clay's point on that podcast. If you can, book a late afternoon tee time and watch the sunset out here. Like this, the view of the skyline, you're going to get the purple and orange skies. It's going to be incredible. I will say probably one of the things that I miss the most about Arizona, outside of friends and family, no one come after me, is the sunsets. So being able to see a sunset from this golf course is something special for sure.
Yeah. And like you said, they have the monopoly on night golf here. No one else has it in the Valley, but also the overall package you get there, right? The golf experience beyond night golf. You have full bar, restaurant, new restaurant there as well. You have live music. Sometimes you have 5-person golf carts, 6-person golf carts, excuse me. Mm-hmm. You have tee times that could go as late as teeing off at 10 p.m. Where else can you do that? It's insane.
I think you can go even later on the weekends. So, yeah.
I finished there at like just before midnight before, and I felt like I owned a golf course. I was like, this is insane. I'm the only one out here, and this is great. But
they also have a great pro shop with a good logo and good brands in there. Like, that's one of the things that we don't necessarily always touch upon when we talk about the Jonesy Test, is what other brands do they carry. But Grass Clippings has got a great set of merchandise, even just outside of their logoed stuff.
They do. Yep. So congratulations, Grass Clippings, your first nomination and first Musty, 1 for 1.
1 for 1, baby.
Okay. As TJ mentioned, for everyone who won here, please, if you would like to have something in the pro shop, we are more than happy to design and actually create something for you guys. We will be tagging some of you in this. But sure. I enjoyed being able to in-depth review every one of these courses with the guests that we had on. And then also, I'll leave some room here at the end here, TJ, for us to kind of talk about this. But this is our last podcast of 2025, and it has been a absolute ride and pleasure being able to do this podcast with you. And we have had amazing guests on. I want to thank every one of them who've come on this podcast. But most importantly, I want to thank the listeners for joining us on this journey. You guys truly do make this what it is. And we've enjoyed being able to have feedback and hear what you guys want us to review. And we care about what you have to say. There's been some funny comments. There's been some helpful comments. There's been some mean comments, the whole spectrum. And honestly, just anyone interacting with us has been an absolute joy for me to have. We try to give these courses and topics the time and detail that they deserve, and the feedback we've received has been great. But we have a lot more planned for you guys in 2026, including some of the courses that you have been telling us you want us to review. The holdup has mainly been TJ getting out to golf some of those courses. So in 2026, we have plenty of plans to get him out there. And TJ, I just want to hear from you any comments on just the ride it's been so far.
Yeah, I mean, without stroking each other off too much, I have to thank you as being the steward of this ship for anyone who pays attention to this and maybe even our social medias, it's very clear that I'm heavy on the social media side, and it's very clear that Shawn is heavy on the podcast side. So I have to thank Shawn for keeping us, as most of the time, being the host and producer of all of these shows, and guiding the ship and not letting me rant for far too long. And also, a podcast is really only the summation of all of its parts. And one of those bigger parts is our guests. I have to thank them as well. Shout out to everybody who's agreed to come on, cleared schedules, made time for us. Thank you guys so much. And then lastly, the other part is the listeners. We are nothing without you guys. I mean, we could do this and we could just keep putting this just out into the ether, and we'd probably still have fun doing it, but it's also really cool to connect with you guys. And I think one of our bigger plans for 2026 is to try and connect with you guys a lot more. I know Shawn and I have talked about doing some more live podcasts and doing them, letting everybody in on the recording and be involved. I think we have some I would say some head in the sky dreams of maybe doing all of the listeners as the third guest for a course, and having you guys vote on the pass fail, and that being what the vote is for that. I think that would be really cool. And we want to do some more happy hours, get you guys involved in a lot of this, because it really is a community. I know we haven't necessarily dubbed everyone with a name, or, we're not calling everybody the must players or anything like that, but we do really want to start to build more of a sense of community, whether that means getting you guys on the pod or having beers with you guys on a random Thursday night. Like, if you guys have ideas and things that you want us to do that too. Also, I think we want to play golf with some more listeners too. Totally. In the coming year. I think we want to try and do some more meetups at some courses, whether they're range days. I think Shawn's still planning to move to Southern California this year. We don't have a date locked in for that or a location, but if us two are in the same place, that means there's a likelihood that we're going to be somewhere together, which means we want to see more of you guys there together as well. So just stay tuned, bear with us. And if you guys have any cool ideas or anything, as always, reach out to us, hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, drop us a comment on the YouTube video. You guys know where to find us.
Yep. And shout out to The Turn. You mentioned for people who want to join our community.
Yeah. So we do have a kind of like a Facebook community group, as I believe what they're called on Instagram. Sorry, an Instagram community group where you can hop in, and we kind of keep all the discussion in there to just the podcast. So if you want to kind of hop in there and be alerted or be involved in some of the discussions that go around the specifics of the podcast, or where we're going to start to have more of these discussions, go hop in there. If you just go to our profile, there's a little thing underneath our description that just should say The Turn and how many members are in there. Click in there, and it's just a channel where we can communicate with you guys.
Yep. And we recently just launched mustplaypod.com. It's a site where you can go find all the episodes. You can find the details and the video links and the Spotify and all those other links if you're listening here. And in the future, maybe even some merch. We'll see how that goes.
Some merch. Also, if you're ever looking for like a discount code from any of the brands, yes. we also have all of our active discount codes on there, so you can go on and grab one of those, and those will have links to the websites, because I know it's very difficult to spell Devro.
There you go. TJ, thank you. And everyone who stuck around, we appreciate you. Have a great rest of the year, and cheers to another one ahead.
Shawn, much appreciated. Thank you for getting dressed up with me today, even though we're wearing shorts underneath this.
Oh, God. We'll end it there.